as a friend, right, if they don't want the best for you, that's that's a debatable relationship right there, man.
Yeah. We might have to put them up to the light to see if they real. We might have to mark them with a little pen. We may have to mark them and put them up to the light. Hey, back again, back to back, May, back to Ben. It's podcast number 2, and we talking about friends. Hey, what about your friends?
Friends.
Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? Oh, so it's podcast number 2, ching-a-ling-a-ling. And it's an intro to our toxic series. Like the good group TLC said, it is titled What About Your Friends? So I think I'm gonna let Crystal tell you why, my girl Tali, why we chose that. Why did we choose What About Your Friends? Why did we choose to do a toxic series? I'm gonna let you start it off.
So
Go
thank you
ahead,
for passing the mic, Nunu, and you sounded amazing.
girl.
Um,
I sing in the shower, girl. I sing in the shower.
I try, but obviously it's not that great. But whatever, we'll work on that later. Um, so we chose this topic for two things, for two main reasons. One is like, first of all, some of your most important relationships are your friends, right? They're the ones that are the glue to most of the things that happen because sometimes we don't have the best relationship with our family, so we choose these friendships where we try to do the best in them to have a solid family because obviously sometimes people come from families that they're not solid, so they have to look outside of that relationship. And the other reason was because honestly, if you look at your friend, your group of friendships, you start realizing where your life is at. Like, you know what I mean? Like those people that are in your inner circle kind of basically show where you're going to be in life. It's not that they dictate your life, but if you're stuck in a certain mentality and your whole group is stuck in that mentality, then so are you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember that saying where Denzel Washington goes and he says, if you have 5 friends and 4 of you guys are rich, the fifth person is gonna be rich.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. If you have 4 toxic friends,
Mhm.
girl, you about to be toxic with
You
them.
number 5, girl. You better get your heels on because you about to walk. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, we talked last time and we delve into some good self-worth talk. We some good self-actualization, which is of course always at that that's the what they call it, the apex of that Maslow's hierarchy of needs is that self-actualization because it's all this work you got to put into it, right? Until you can get there. That's the top, you know. So I thought it was good that we did that topic first. But like you said, the toxic relationships really determine how you move, how you react, um, how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Because if you have that type of negativity around you, you know what I mean? It permeates and you become it and it becomes you, you know. So the first thing we should really get into is the quality of a good friend because I think we always want to go negative first, right? We always want to go negative, but one of the main reasons that we chose to do a podcast is because we wanted to take some of the negative things and find the light within those things, you know what I mean? And encourage people to find the light within those negative things and negative situations. So before we um go into the negative and what a toxic or bad qualities of a friend, I think it's important that we first touch on the good qualities of a good friend. What makes a good friend?
So to me, right, what makes a good friend is loyalty, right? That's a main thing for me. Like loyalty in the sense that I don't have to if I have $20, I can leave them on the counter. Like I shouldn't have to like worry about $20. We got
Yeah, I mean that's a bare minimum. Like if you a thief,
that's
then
just a bare
you
minimum.
got way more than
There's more to it. Like you know what I mean. Like it's beyond that. But you know what I mean. Like this is just like the basic things because some people don't even know that that's a good quality in a friend. You know,
True, true, true,
they have
true.
these friends that they can't bring home because they're like they got sticky fingers. That's how you feel about them. That's not your friend, That's not your friend at all.
Because they ain't gonna take nothing out. That's why mine kind of lends to that. A good friend is not gonna take um not going to pull everything from you, but instead impart everything in you. You know what I mean? Like encourage you, uplift you. Um, you know, after you have a conversation with a good friend, you don't feel broken or worse off than at the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? You feel instead uplifted, inspired, encouraged. Your faith should be stronger. You know what I mean? You should have an increased outlook on, you know what I mean? Or have a positive spin on some of the negative things to help you make it through and encourage you through. You know what I mean? So I think, like you said, loyalty, definitely, quality of a good friend. But number two, getting keeping that same energy. You know, I always say that. Keep that same energy, girl. Let's take cheers, cheers, cheers to keep
Reciprocation. Cheers. Reciprocation. That's what they're saying.
cheers to keeping that same energy because it's so easy, but it's so hard. It's so hard.
I think another thing is that right, a quality of a good friend is that they're gonna want the best for you.
Mhm.
Like they're always gonna want the best for you because it's like, um, for example, let's say you have a friend that's going through bad things. If you love that friend, you're gonna be like, girl, like there has to be another way we can figure this out. You start thinking about things,
Mhm.
brainstorming with that person. That's a person that like loves you. You know what I mean? Like they want the best
Mhm.
for you. A
Yeah,
person
I've
that loves you want to want the best for you. And as a friend, right? If they don't want the best for you, that's that's a debatable relationship right there, man.
yeah. We might have to put them up to the light to see if they real. We might have to mark them with a little pen. We may have to mark them and put them up to the light.
Because like loyalty, reciprocation,
Mhm. What else?
betterment, like like someone who like love. Friendship consists of love. So if
Yeah.
you don't have love for the person,
Unconditional.
unconditional.
Unconditional love. Unconditional love. That's that's hard. Unconditional love is hard, but it's not that hard if both people are on the same page. And that's like a coordinated effort. You know what I mean? It's like both of y'all have to have that same unconditional love as a friend. You know what I mean? And it will work. But like you said, if it's not reciprocated, then that's when we get faulty. That's when we get cracks. And that's when that ship might start sinking. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely a good one. Empathy,
Oh yeah, empathy.
empathy. Because to be a good friend, it's like to be a good friend is to be a good person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like if you have the qualities that we're discussing right now, if you're that type of friend, you'll also be that type of person, a person with good loyalty, integrity, what you do when no one's looking, that's integrity. A person who pours into others, you know what I mean? A person that puts themselves in other people's shoes, that's empathy, right? Um, because sometimes we're not going to be okay, and that grace and that understanding that, wow, she must be having a really bad day, or wow, I don't know what she's experiencing, but let me give her grace, especially if she comes through 99.99999%, because it must be something to where she's, you know what I mean, and give each other grace and keeping the lines of communication.
that's right. Big one, a thinger right there. Like
Communication.
here's to that one. Communicate.
Cheers, cheers, because
And
Your
honest,
other friends and your family should not be unfriending me on Facebook and giving me the side eye when they see me. And I'm like, well, what's going on that I don't know about?
yeah,
Obviously, some communication that's happening to the wrong people. Directed here,
yeah,
directed here. You know what I mean? Um, and that's a sign of maturity. Ooh, maturity is a good one too.
growth, growth. We need
Growth, growth.
together.
Because it's like you guys have to kind of grow together. It's like any relationship. Uh the three parts of our toxic series, our first one is going to be friendship. We said our second one was going to be family, right? And our third one is going to be relationships, situationships, and entanglements. Oh, yes. But yeah, so I mean, it's a lot. You have to grow in every um relationship you have in your life, as a friend, as a mom, as a sister. Growth is important, right? As a lover, you know what I mean? Growth is important. We need to grow together because it becomes off sync when one's all the way up here with growing and the other one is okay with being where they're at. So it has to be a common, that's also another a common one. Growth, being able to grow, being mature. And we're not perfect people. We're given examples of qualities of a good friend. And part of the reason why we want to do this and we wanted to do this podcast is because we wanted to be therapeutic for the people that listen to it, but we also wanted to be therapeutic for ourselves. You know what I mean? And we're not perfect people. You know, we're not scoring hundreds on all of the things that we just pointed out as qualities of a good friend, but we acknowledge and we know that that's what you need to be, and we work every day to do that. And just like we want people to have grace with us, we also have to have grace with ourselves. You know what I mean? So those are the things that everyone should aspire to be, including us, you
Yeah.
know. um oh, what's the second thing? Oh, the type of friend. What type of friend are you, girl? I know what type of friend you are, but I'm gonna let you go. What you think? What do you think about yourself?
I think I'm the very understanding friend, right? And I'm also I would consider myself the the very loyal friend. At the end of the day, like it doesn't matter what we go through, whatever. I am loyal to my group. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
that I will bully anybody for my group, but that does mean that I'm not gonna allow any shit to be said about my group.
Mhm.
So I think I'm that kind of person, and I'm very loving to my group. So like they know me on the inside, where other people they don't know how soft I am. My group does.
Yeah, see me with my friends, I wear my heart on my sleeve, right? So, and as we know, when you wear your heart on your sleeve, that leaves you open and vulnerable, right? So that leaves you open and vulnerable for people to take your kindness for weakness. And I'm the most loving, giving, encouraging. I can be the sun to you. If I love you and care about you and feel like it's authentic and reciprocated, I can be the sun, and I also can be that storm. You know what I mean? Because I'm stubborn. You know what I mean? And it's like I give so much out, but when I feel and when it comes to the point where the rubber actually meets that road, you know what I mean? I can turn it off like a light switch. I can give you everything I have, my soul, my heart, my energy. But when I feel like that energy is not reciprocated, or I feel like it's tainted or phony or false or not on a good foundation, then yeah, I might have to back up. And no love lost, but I'm that type of friend. But I'm the one that demands that because I give it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I force people to, I think, look themselves in the mirror and be like, oh, I got to do better. So sometimes it doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? But it's good. Like I encourage, I support, I pray for, I try everything not to utter a negative word. Like if I feel you, you will never, even some of the friends I don't have right now, the world will never know how I feel or what happened, because I'm just that real. Like I'm not gonna put you out there, you know what I mean? Because if I feel like you did something to me and you out there, talking negative on my name, like my character, my reputation, my resilience, you know what I mean? The sun, like I am, because I was that sun, you know what I mean? Is gonna shine regardless. And so I don't need to defend myself. I'm, like I said, honest, loving, encouraging, supportive. If I feel you riding with me, we're gonna ride together. Um, but if I feel you not, if I don't feel it's there, then I'm gonna say, okay, bye. Like I'm gonna be okay. Like that's my coping mechanism that I've built up, because of the trauma in my life. And it doesn't that in itself can be looked at as toxic, but I also give you enough chances and enough grace that by the time that rubber does meet that road, it's time to you know what I mean? I'm out of here, and I wish no ill will or no negative energy, all goodness for you, but I gotta go. So I mean, I'm that type of friend. I love you. I'm there. I'm riding. Like I have some of all the traits that we discussed. You do too. We have the traits that we just discussed, the qualities we just discussed. You know what I mean? Um, so we just gotta fine tune. You know what I mean? And sometimes it takes for you to skirt out on people so you could go fine tune because their energy and their vibe is not uplifting and encouraging. So like if you're not gonna be there, and if I'm gonna do that for you and you can't do that for me, then why am I wasting my time? You know what I mean? That's the type of person I am. That's the type of friend I am. Like you either gonna step up and man up and do the right thing, or you can, go be over there with people that's low vibrational and it will force you to want to change and grow and be a better person. You know what I'm saying?
Go sit with the kids. You don't want to grow up? Go sit with the
So
kids.
you sit at the kids' table. Don't sit at the table. You say, "Let's grown people over here.
Nah, that's what
Cheers."
I'm saying. She's like, you're
It's
gonna have
grown people.
you're gonna have some water with the children.
Right.
That's what she's saying. Um, I think that as you progress, as you grow, right, you become a better person and you become a better friend, right? At the same time, you learn what loyalty is, like to yourself, to the people around you, because these things that I hold up high, whatever, like loyalty is big to me because I am loyal to everybody around me. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could have a husband, you could have a boyfriend, you could have a friend. I'm not looking at any of them if you're like, I like him. What?
Any of my friends that I've ever gotten with, their significant others, they instantly look like a brother. Like it's nothing that ever like I never want. Like
You know what I mean? Like
I'm not like them.
I love women as friends, but I'm not attracted to them. So I see them as girls. Like they're girls like me. So like, hey
So
girl.
so they like your home girl.
Like, hey girl. Like that's all I'm thinking. Like, hey girl, that's it. But
Fortunately,
I'm not looking at them. I'm like this because that's my
mhm,
friend. Like that's where my loyalty is. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like I treat you like I would want you to treat me. And I think
yeah,
I remember being at therapy because I believe in therapy,
yes, I do too.
and the therapist saying common sense isn't common to everybody.
Hmm.
I'm like, nah, like if I treat you with decency and respect, and I don't look at your man,
Hmm.
I believe that you should be the same way. And she's like,
Hmm.
yeah, but some people they don't have no common sense because they weren't raised like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That's obscene. But
Well, fortunately, I haven't had that experience, at least not knowingly. Um, but yeah, that's definitely not the type of energy or type time I'll be on. Um, I think I'm like that in general though. Like I don't look at what nobody else has. You know what I mean? I'm so focused on me. I think people misconstrue that too. Like some people think that you want what they have. Like, no, I don't want what anyone has because as someone who's been through so much and experienced so much, like I know everything that God blesses me with. I I, I struggled to get that. I went through some things to get that. So you don't know what things them people went through. You know what I mean? Look at yourself. be yourself, worry about yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about what anyone else is doing, what they have, because some people are still not happy. They can have everything and not be happy. You know what I mean? I don't want what nobody got. I want what I got. Because everything I got is blessed. You know what I mean? I don't know if that thing blessed over there. I don't know if that thing blessed over there, sis.
He's like, I know how much work I did to get here. I know how much I had
Right.
to sacrifice to get here. So I know what it was to be here, and I know where
Yeah.
I came from.
Hmm.
That's true. You don't like. That's like in the hood, right? There's certain people that don't go to work, but they be having all the packages come to their house, and you be like, "Yo, Holmes, like, what are you doing?" But you be like, at the same time, you're like, you know what? Maybe I don't want the
Yeah.
okay guy. You know
I
what I
want
mean?
the same problems.
Because when shit go down, I don't want to know. You know what? I don't want to know. I'll,
Right.
I'll just buy my one pair of Uggs today because that's all I can afford. You buy your five. Okay. It is what it is.
Right, right. You're right. You might deserve five. I don't know what you're doing. You know, hey. And if it's meant for me to have five, I'll get my five when it's time for me to have my five. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? That's how I don't know. That's how I tread through life. But I've lost friends. I think I've lost some friends because they I'm so competitive with myself, and I have a stagnation within self, where if I'm not progressing, or if it's ever since I've been a little girl. That's why I used to get chased home and beat up and thrown in trash cans and stuff, because I guess other little kids could see that, like, I just was a good, I worked hard. You know what I mean? I had that good little energy, and they like, who she thinks she is. It's like, no, like, it takes a lot to be a good person. It takes a lot to try to, be a vibe or have life. You know what I mean? That takes a lot. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I was saying that I compete so much within myself that sometimes people can misconstrue that as me being competitive with them. You know what I mean? And I'm not being competitive with you. I'm being competitive with myself, because I get a sense of stagnation when I'm not learning, when I'm not growing. That's just been the type of person that I have been since I was a kid. My sister's like that too. We feel a stagnation if we're not growing. You know what I mean? If we're not invested in something, if we're not doing something, you know what I mean? We feel a sense of stagnation. You know what I mean? And I think some people, because not everybody's a hater, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some people like, oh, that's like she a hater, or we ain't friends no more because she a hater. Not everybody's a hater. Some people don't understand like that, because there's no good communication, that hey, I'm like this, or hey, I'm like this, or hey, I felt this way when you said this. Like, what did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Communication can solve so many disagreements, or um negative. Look, you hear the boys. You in New York with all the traffic. The boys upstairs playing Xbox with their dad. We gonna have some feedback because we human, but you feeling like somebody's a hater, like they're not necessarily a hater. They can just not know how to communicate, or they can just not know how to be loyal, or they can just, but that comes from kind of talking. But if both people won't talk, you know what I'm saying? Then it's a dead.
That's an intent, right? The intent
Mm-hmm.
is that like this is the thing with relationships. You have to learn the person's intent. Who are they as a person, like in their core?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I've I've been in situations where like I've been about to cut off a friend because like I've been like, hold up, did, do they love me? Do they not love me?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's been because I myself was scared to like confront that situation and have an honest conversation, because sometimes we're dealing with our trauma from our past that
Mm-hmm.
we bring, like we're bringing our childhood trauma to relationships, like we bring it to like friendships, we bring it to like our romantic relationships, to our
Mm-hmm.
children, whatever. So this is stuff that we have to work on as people, right? So here you are as a friend, you're bringing all this past trauma because you might have been taught that nobody got you. That when you go into a relationship with a friend, you scared to be honest because you scared that that friend's not gonna love you unconditionally when they find out the truth. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like that you're not okay with them talking to you this way, or when you're not
Hmm.
okay with, some, like some small like something small that, you thought it was such a big deal, and then you go back and you're like, why did you say this? And they're like, dude, like I was just playing with you. And you're like, yes,
Yeah.
you have that kind
See,
of sense of humor.
Com- communication. That's one of the top. That's one of the top. Like, but I've been guilty of not communicating either. But most of the times I don't communicate with the people who I know ain't gonna take it well. You know what I mean? Who I know is gonna act out of character and pull me out of character. If I know you turn up and I know you get out of pocket, I know that maybe not. Don't do that because if provoked, I can get out of pocket, like like some change, like out of your pocket. Like I never want to it to get to the point of no repair as a human being. You know what I mean? Whatever, getting physical or getting, and if I know you turn up, then it's just best to just let those people go on about their business. You know what I mean? Oh, and since we're on that, the three types of friends, Birdman. Three types of friends. So I think we labeled them, didn't we? We got three types. The first one we said was what? Done deal. The ones that was done.
But they're
Stick a
done.
fork in them.
That's that's like a once that one time, like once in a season kind of friend. Like you went on vacation, you was hanging out at camp, and you just met a friend. And then after
Yeah.
you leave the camp, you're no longer friends.
It's a done deal. It's like you put a fork in that piece of meat and it just goes,
Then camp,
that one time of being here. And it's okay. And for me, the done deal people, let's give examples. So the done deal people for me, things that people have done, I'm not on here to we're not gonna bash people because that's not how you grow, you know what I mean? But to give some examples, I've had like I felt like a friend was disrespectful and they refused to apologize. I was like, yo, that's disrespectful. And they're like, no. And I don't think I need to apologize. And I was like, oh, all right. No, that was it. Oh, all right. That's the done deal. That was done. That was it.
I'm like,
Um,
I've had my done deal was like, see, I'm a very forgiving person. Like I'm not very forgiving, but I am very forgiving in a sense. Let me explain that. I'm the kind of person that, right, when I have friendships, I'm gonna give you what you give me.
mhm.
Could I give more? Yes, but I'm gonna match your energy because I've been in relationships where I've overextended myself. So I've gotten to the point where I'm gonna give you what you give. I'm gonna
That's
be
where
nice
I'm at. That's why I don't have many friends.
to you, right? I'm gonna be nice in the beginning, and I'm gonna show you who I am. Like I'm gonna show like tidbits about me. But if I see that you're taking advantage, or I feel that like you're not being reasonable, and when I call you out on it, like you try to like gaslight me,
Mhm.
no, that's it. I'm
Yeah,
reciprocating the same energy you're
hang
giving.
it up, hang it
People
up.
don't like that. They don't like when like you reciprocate the energy because
Oh
I've had to
no.
be
And when
like,
you set boundaries too, like, well, no, hey, I need a time for myself. I've given so much energy myself. Can I have a moment? No,
yeah,
they don't like that. Like, how dare you take a moment? I've had that. Um, and those are the done deals. And they know they're done deals, and if they're not, they will know soon. And they'll go on to have relationships with people, and you hope that they're good, and you hope that the relationships that you have and develop with people will be good. Like, and it's all right. That's life. Um, Number
that's
two
like
is, huh?
done deal doesn't mean that like you have to have a negative relationship. Like
No,
I mean, like it doesn't have to be that you have. It's just like there's just certain people that you meet that aren't meant. They're not meant to be part of your tree. They're just meant to be the leaves that wash away during the fall, and that's it.
season. And I've had people ask me about people. the done deal friends. I've had go, oh, how are they? I'm like, they're good. You're wonderful.
Great.
Because I just hope that for them. You know what I mean? I hope they are wonderful. You know what I mean? I hope it's the same with me. I hope it ain't like, let me tell you about this. You know what I mean? Because I'm not giving that. You know what I mean? Because if you give that, then you're gonna get that from you're gonna get that energy back in return, whether from them or from somebody else. So I always try to just be like, oh, okay, and move on. And I think my detachment comes from the people that I've loved the most, hurt me the most.
Yeah.
And it is like, it may not be necessarily healthy. There's nothing on here, you know what I mean, that, some things we say, it may not be the best approach sometimes. It's just how we experience and where we are in our life, and we still have to grow too. But I pray on that, how I so easily detach from people and not have any feelings for that. And that's the only thing about the done deal friends, is that it forces me to look at how easily I can just be like, oh, all right. You know what I mean? And I pray that that's a work for me, because it's not good to just be able to just cut people and move on that. You know what I mean? I'm like, because part of it's weird, it's like you should have some kind of feeling, but I guess when you're done, like that piece of meat. So number two, now I have a couple friends like this right now who are the trauma bond friends. So the trauma bond friends are the friends that you probably should have let go a long time ago. You probably should have let it go. Let it go. But because they probably were with you at a time of your life that it was traumatic or like stressful, or they help you through some rough times, it's like you give them an unlimited supply of grace. You know what I mean? And they still do things that irritate you on a day to day, but you give them so much grace, like, all right now, and you may not be tapped in with them like on a day to day basis, because you know that everything that's coming is not going to be coming right, but you hold on to them because they've been like there for you during like bad times, or y'all have a deep or profound thing that y'all experienced, or time, or whatever, or that you've been friends with them for 20 years, stuff like that. um those are the trauma bond friends. You have any like instances, or
Like
um
that's the thing about trauma bonds, right? Like trauma bond, it can happen at any moment in your life. Like when you're in that pit and you find that one friend and you guys both talk about the pit that you're in, and it can start off like you guys want the best for each other, and then all of a sudden you notice that one of you is trying to uplift and the other one is not no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like you start growing apart because you start realizing like, all right, I you can't always blame the other person for your problems, right? When you come
mhm,
to that realization in a friendship as well, you start like pushing away from that negative, speaking like, talking crap about what happened. Like you try to find the better side. So once you start looking for the better side, you start realizing like this person that I bonded with over bullshit, all they bring up is bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
mhm, mhm. I had I've had situations like that. And it's like you guys were so in a negative place together that it was toxic.
Yeah.
And you didn't even realize it was toxic. You're like, oh wow, we were like those traumatic attachments, those, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, those I've had things that I have the trauma bond friends. Like I've had people that I trauma bond with, um, like just so negative, like you said, so negative, negative, negative. And they're saying all this negative stuff about other people, and you're like, hmm, you know what I mean? You're like, hmm, you sure do say a lot of negative stuff about everybody. Somebody got this going good in their life. Yeah, that's because they got this. Or somebody got a award for something. Yeah, but did you know they did this? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, what'd you say about me? Mhm.
Right? Right. They'd be like,
Thinking man, thinking man. That's why I don't like when people come to me talking so negative about other people, because it's like, one, I don't want to hear nothing negative about that person, because that person probably won't want you saying that. You know what I mean? Two, like what would you say about me? Like, would you be saying, girl, yeah, that's why her edges is good, you know? Why she ain't got no edges or nothing. That's why her chin, that's why she got two chins. Like I sure do. I sure do, and both of them cute.
But that's the
But
thing.
yeah,
Trauma friendships also are the kind of friendships that it's like one of you's always pouring into the other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say I've had relationships where I had somebody call me like all the time at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, yo, sometimes I'm still sleep. I know
yeah,
I wake up early. Like I wake up
yeah,
at 4 o'clock in the morning. But there's times I'll be like, I'm not like, when I'm going through something, I'm like, yo, fuck the 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm
yeah,
sleeping today. And they calling me at 5 o'clock in the morning and they're like, oh, you didn't pick up your phone because I always pick up, right?
yeah,
How about, yo, you good that you didn't pick up the phone? Like, are you good?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get that reciprocity. Or when I used to call them in the afternoon, now they can't pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Or those friends that they use you for your opinions and like when they need advice, and then
Oh,
that same advice and give it to the next person, like they're the ones who brought it to the
oh,
table.
wait. I've had where had such a bond with my friend that no matter when they call, what they were going through, I mean, I literally talked them through stuff like they were a therapist. You know what I mean? Listen to everything. I never said, hey, I gotta go. I was always there for them. And in my lowest point of feeling worthless, feeling down, feeling not appreciated, feeling loved, feeling they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And that horrible experience is the reason why I'm glowing up.
That's right.
Because to feel so low and feel like everything that you have given to people, you haven't gotten back, you know God gonna give it back. He gonna give you double for your trouble and triple for your trial because you stay 10 toes down, because you were there, because you rode for as long as you could ride for, you know what I mean? And when you needed them, they were nowhere to be found, you know what I mean? And like I heard something that said when you heal yourself, it's nothing that person can do to come back. You know what I mean? It's nothing they can do to come back because you weren't there to help work me through. You weren't there to heal this relationship together. And once I've healed from the things that I the your absence, you know what I mean? Like you ain't there. Like I've got you get used to people not being there. You know what I mean? Like okay, when I needed you, you weren't there. Okay, stay going. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's mm. I, when I say girl, gay. Another one back again. Mm-mm.
But that's the reality of it all. Like, you know what I mean? Like trauma bond relationships are like when you're at your lowest point, like you're at your lowest point and they're at their lowest points. Do you guys actually get out of the mud,
Mm-hmm.
or do you one of you does is one of y'all holding each, holding y'all back? And at one point do you get out of the fucking mud? Are you gonna let
Let's
it soak you in?
let's take a moment and set the intention that anybody right now that's in a trauma bond friendship, because y'all been through so much together, it would be really sad for that to turn into a done deal friendship. So we really pray that the people out there who are, you know what I mean, need to do some work, get the work done, look at yourself in the mirror, communicate, you know what I mean, right those wrongs and really grow so that you know what I mean, y'all can segue into the third type of friend. You know what I mean? Look, you see that little segue? You see that little segue? That segue to the third type of friend. Third type of friend is that real deal. My girl Amanda, that's in OKC. That's a real deal friend. Let me tell you about her. My friend Amanda at OKC is sets the bar for friends. You know what I mean? For me, Crystal sets the bar for friends. Like me and Crystal, we sat at the same lunch table at senior year, right? We were always cool. We were always cool. But as you guys saw in our first podcast, our friend Justin he passed away on February 23rd. And we went to a boarding school. It was like 120 people in our class. And we were all like brothers and sisters. Like the bond that we have, people from the outside in would be like so shocked. We're all different races, all different backgrounds, all different countries, all different languages. You know what I mean? We were different. And our friend Justin was a big character, his spirit, his just everything. Like you, everyone that went to our boarding school could say something that Justin Manlove said. You know what I mean? And with his passing, like it brought me and Crystal back together. And I guess that was a traumatic thing that we bonded from. But instead of it being an unequal, you know what I mean? We're both trying to, you know what I mean, uplift and grow with each other. You know what I mean? And Crystal is like a real friend for me because every time I talk to you is, yes, you could do it. What you doing? How you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you got? How you are? What you think? I'm like, energy. My friend Amanda, like, no matter what, like she has serious health issues. And she could be selfish and be like, I don't want to talk about your measly behind issues, you know what I mean? Your measly ass issues, you know what I mean? But every time she's like, how are you? How you feel? How is work? How's the kids? You are great. You are wonderful. Like 20 on 10. And I do the same for her. You know what I mean? And I do the same for you. You know what I mean? Those real deal um people that ride, people that uplift, people that encourage, that you can feel genuine love for. You know what I mean? That's gonna talk you down when you have an anxiety attack, when you stress, when you're angry. You know what I mean? That'll help you remind you the good parts of you when you feel like you don't have no good left. You know what I mean? I aspire to be that type of friend. I think I have been for a lot of people. And the ones who may not even be happy with me right now, in their heart, I know they feel that, it was always really love. You know what I mean? And the ones who are the done deals, you know what I mean? They might see, but sometimes time and you get used to people's absence, like we said. And the ones that trauma bond, we hope that y'all get it together. You know what I mean? But the real deal ones, the riders, baby, keep riding, keep giving good, keep imparting in people because all that you're giving out, like, is gonna come back in. Like, I feel like this is my time to. I've been through some traumatic things, and that have really changed my outlook on life and who I am as a person. And I strive to try to be a good friend because I don't have many. So I want the ones that I do have to know that they're valued and that they're appreciated. And I hope that they feel the same about me. And I hope that I can keep as many real deal friends as I can. Um, I pray that if I'm faulty, that I will see the error in my ways and that I will make the changes that I need to make. You know what I mean, to be a better person. And I think that, like, if everybody did that, if everybody had that energy, you know what I mean, we would probably have freaking friend vacations every week.
Um, so for me, the real deals, right? Those are the people that I'm not like. You don't have to have a perfect relationship, you know.
Hmm.
Those deals, like those are the people that you can stop talking today because you have a lot of shit going on, and pick up 3 months later, like if nothing ever happened.
Yep.
So
Yep.
about you, it's about what they have to deal with. Because I'm the kind of
Mhm.
friend that if I feel like I'm going through too much, that I'm too heavy, and I see that you have like something going on that's gonna be great, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yo, I need you, Nunu, to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
support me, because I'm gonna be like, yo, like as a friend, I want the best for you. And sometimes if I'm at my worst, I'm not the best for you. Like I'll be
Hmm.
like, yo, I told you, like, I'm just going through stuff. I just need some time. And
Yeah.
that,
Communicate.
you know what I mean? Like, but the thing is that sometimes we as people, we forget to communicate. We forget to be honest, like, because we're so scared to break our relationships. I've been there. Like I've been at, breaking off relationships that they deserved work because I didn't want to communicate, or I felt like that person wasn't gonna be reasonable. And then when I see them or we talking, and I'm just like, God, like I knew I picked you as my real deal friend for a reason. I knew that you,
Hmm.
like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't mess up, because what happened
Yeah.
that like when when we're going through all these relationships and all these friendships, whatever, we start thinking everybody's against us. And sometimes we
Yes.
that group, even when they're going through it, they still there for you. Like I'm that kind of friend. Like even if me and you we're not talking right now, I'm still there. If you would like to be like, yo, I need you for this, got you. That's it. Like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure this out. But sometimes we forget and we make everything about ourselves. So sometimes as people, we gotta be like, yo, I need to give them grace. They need to give me grace. Like we need to give each other grace. And we need to be honest with one another because once you start like being honest with people and you're telling them like, yo, this rubs me the wrong way, then they could work on it, you know, and like, and now you could be honest with yourself and say like, yo, I told them. So if they didn't make a change, then that was on them for being manipulative. Because if
Hmm.
I'm out here and I'm telling you like, Nunu, I don't like this, and you continue to do it, and you like apologize about it, and you're still doing it, then now that's manipulation. But if you change yourself, that means that you care about me as a person to be willing to like change. And that's the thing with relationship and friendships. Friendships require a lot of growth. We have to grow as people.
Hmm.
So for me, my real deal friends, like I've had them since I was a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like these are relationships that I've had since the fifth grade that, are still like strong to this day. Like I can stop talking to my best girl, like from sixth grade. Her name is Chanel. I can stop talking to her. But when we pick up, it's like nothing. Like, yo, how's the girl?
Hmm.
Yo, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And my friends know, like, yo, no matter what, I got their back. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is, And like with Sonara, like me and Nunu, we've known each other, like she said, since high school. We went to a boarding school where we prayed, we ate, we slept. We went to like recreation together. When we went out, we saw each other in the mall. We did
We went to chapel. He is the great I am.
everything.
He.
Like you couldn't, like you know what I mean. Like these are the relationships that like we had, whatever, where we couldn't honestly be mad at each other for so long because we had to see each other the next day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we was mad at each other, we're gonna resolve this one way or
Well,
another.
I sat at the dinner table because it's 12 girls in our student homes, in at our boarding school that we went to, and I sat at the dinner table with people I didn't like. I had to break bread with people I didn't like, boy. So we say all this to say for the people who outside of that and don't know nothing about that, we've done it. We can write a book on it. It's not nothing in a friendship that we haven't experienced. We've had to sit at the same table with people that we didn't care for. We had to be in the same class that with people that we had to go see them everywhere, from rec to lunch to classes to student home to games everywhere. So it's nothing that you gals is doing that we haven't already seen or that has already been done. So it just convert, be a good, be good, do good, love,
Yeah.
and I think we rolling up. We rolling up. Like we about to roll up out of here. This has been the inner voice with Thally, my girl Thally. Say hey for everybody. And I'm Nunu, and this is the Inner Voice with Tally and Nunu podcast. Our next one, number 3, is going to be the second installment of our toxic series, Family No Reunion. Oh, so I'm sure we will have a lot of stories out of our crazy family. And we hope that y'all gonna stick with us and ride with us. Um, and jump up on this train because we're gonna try to conduct it. We're gonna try to get to our destination safely, and we're gonna have a good time while doing it.
We
We'll
about
see
to
you on.
install some real ones with us.
Yes, grow with us, evolve with us. You know what I mean? Definitely turn out with us, girl. What boy?
Turn up, girl.
We
Oh,
love it.
about to have a million best friends.
Yes, and I'm
Hey,
in
best
Florida.
friend.
Right. Hey, best friend. I'm in Florida, and Tally is in New York. And so we're gonna try to really make some things happen. If you guys really enjoy it, comment, give us some love, give us some good feedback. Um, probably after the sec, yeah, yeah, we're gonna do a couple more questions. We're probably going to link the email to the podcast in the description box. And what we'll do is you guys send us some advice and we'll get rocking and rolling and we'll get it customized for y'all and try to help y'all work through some difficult situations. But we want to thank y'all for tuning in, for loving us, for keeping that same energy with us, for tapping in, beep, beep, and for listening to me sing, because I'm gonna be doing it. Like that's what I do. We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.